Hey, what's up, my friend? Are you a small business owner that loves God, family, country, and capitalism? If so, you are in the right place. This is the War Plan Briefing. My name is Joshua Latimer. I'm here to help you, serve you, help you go faster. Look, at the end of the day, winners win. And this content or any of this stuff that I put out there, it's going to help someone like you who's destined to win because you're a winner go faster. That's it, right? I can't take someone who's not motivated, who doesn't want to put in the work. I can't do anything with that. But there might be something in this video that could change things for you, and I'm excited to share it with you. Today, we're going to talk about 4 simple shifts that I made inside my brain that produced over $10 million over just a couple years, and how you can do the same thing. And I remember going on a family trip. Did you ever go on a family trip with your family? And this was a big deal. We didn't take lots of trips, but when we did, it was like exciting. And we were going like to this cabin in the woods. No, it wasn't a cabin. It was a tent. We're going to tent camp, and it was in northern Michigan. It was beautiful. We drove up there. I had a fishing pole. I hiked into the woods and I started fishing. I loved to fish when I was a kid, and I got lucky and I caught this beautiful rainbow trout. Now, it wasn't like a world record. It was like maybe like this big, but I was freaking out about catching this rainbow trout because it was the first rainbow trout I had ever caught. I was between maybe 13, 14 years old. I take the fish back to our tent. My family's excited. They're high-fiving. They're like, that's so cool. You got a rainbow trout. Let's cook it, they said. I said, well, what do you mean, let's cook it? I'm going to cook it. And they're like, well, we all want to try it. I'm like, no, it's mine. I caught it. Like, go catch your own fish. And basically, for this little window of time, and periodically thereafter, even recently, sometimes I make the mistake to believe that it's all about me. And when it comes to making money, this is one of the critical mistakes people make. You might make a video. You might think that I think this video has nothing to do with me. It has to do with you. When I started shifting my mindset, when I was growing my businesses, my software company, my service company, the coaching and education company, I started to realize that success is when you are serving other people. Now, that's a loaded word because the internet is filled with a bunch of fake gurus that pretend like their goal is contribution. You know, you see these 23-year-olds with a rented Lamborghini on Instagram. They're like, hey guys, you know, I just wanted to give back, you know, and they're just lying through their teeth, right? The real truth is that when you make it about your customer, you will make way more money. You're not going to be perfect at this. It's not going to happen instantly, but you got to reframe your mind to know that it's not about you. Just like that fish, I should have shared the fish. I should have gave him a bite of the fish. I was a diva. I was 13. I ate the whole fish by myself. And looking back, my family's still mad about it 30 years later. It's crazy, right? So let me ask you, are you making it about yourself? Do you struggle making a Facebook Live video because you're scared what people are going to think about you? If you are, it's because you're making it about yourself. Are you scared of public speaking? If you are, it's because you're making it about yourself. You're not bad for doing that. This is like what everybody does. I just want to reframe you to think about it different because I was horrified to public speak years ago until I did it a whole bunch of times and I had epiphanies like this. It's not about me. It's about the viewer. It's about serving and giving to a person you deeply care about. In fact, I have a 3-step formula when I make Facebook Live videos that help me, because I'm an introvert, not be worried about it anymore. The first step is that you're talking to one person. You got to think in your brain. If you're going to make a video, if you're going to build a marketing campaign, if you're going to go sell something to a customer, the first thing you got to realize is that you're only speaking to one person. If you're public speaking, which is the #1 fear in the United States, you're not speaking to a whole crowd. You're speaking to one person. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is it's someone you deeply care about. I'm talking your stomach hurts, you care about them so bad, and it's real. Not the 22-year-old fake Instagram guy that fake cares. No, I mean you really care. You're speaking to one person. Rule number 2, who you deeply care about. And then the third rule is that you need to know that they are going to take transformational action on what you're about to share with them, what you're about to say to them. And really, this is all about not making it about you, right? Because you have gifts in you, you have messages in you that you need to share with the world. You need to market harder, sell harder, recruit faster. You need to go for it because it's not about you. It's about the jobs you're going to create, the world that you're going to change, and all the benefits that your customers are going to get. The second shift that I made that produced over $10 million in short order was understanding leverage. leverage, right? There's this incredible teaching by Myron Golden called the 4 levels of value. It's incredible. And he breaks down the difference between implementation, unification, communication, and imagination. And we won't do that in this video. I talk about it in some of the other videos, or you can search Myron Golden and watch it. It's amazing. But basically, implementers are the lowest form of value. And what that means, it doesn't mean they're less valuable as a human being, right? Someone has to dig the ditch, right? But the idea is not to stay as the implementer forever. And this is when leverage comes into play. You know, you can make more money with your brain than you can with your back, but you know what else is true? You can make more money with your mouth than you can with your back. Communication is a higher form of value creation. It's leverage, right? It's selling one-to-one isn't the same as selling one-to-many. Employees are a form of leverage. If you are an owner-operator and you have a small operation and you don't want to hire employees because of all the headache that can come with it, which is valid, I get that. Are you being a little selfish? Maybe. Are you living in fear? Possibly. But one thing I can say for sure is that you don't have a lot of leverage. And when you don't have a lot of leverage, you can't make as much money. You can't get as big of an outcome, as big of a reward. You can't do it because there's no leverage. I forget who said, give me a lever long enough and I can move the whole world, right? Or give me, this long stick and you can... That's what business is like. So your team is leveraged, but not just your employees. You have joint venture partners. My software company was really struggling years ago, and one of the ways we turned it around was through strategic joint venture partnerships with other people that had access to the audience of customers that we wanted. And so there was a financial arrangement, there was relationship building that happened, and we made millions of dollars by leveraging their audience, and I didn't have to build my own audience. So ask yourself in your business, where is the leverage that maybe you're not seeing right now, that you're missing? Is it a certain relationship? Is it a critical hire that you've been neglecting making because you're scared, because you don't want to spend the money? You got to reframe your brain to understand that if you get trapped being the implementer, doing everything yourself, or if you get trapped as the manager, which is the next one, the unification, if you get stuck there, you're putting a glass ceiling over your head on the amount of money you can make. Leverage is a superpower. So ask yourself how you can do it in relationships with staff and with joint venture partnerships. The third thing that helped make a bajillion dollars for us was understanding enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. In one of my other videos, I talked about how we're all walking radio transmitters of energy and we put off this vibe, right? And I'm not talking about new age woo-woo hippie stuff. What I'm talking about is the fact that you have a certain vibe and tone about you right now. The way you show up for your employees and your customers when you're selling, when you're marketing, everything that you do already, you're already doing this. What I suggest to you is that we just bolt on some enthusiasm to go with it. Inside of recession marketing, I teach this principle called the Gordon-Irwin effect. The Gordon-Irwin effect is about nerdy enthusiasm, because you might not be the best, you might not be the smartest, you might not be the tallest or the most handsome, but I can tell you something. If you are the most enthusiastic, you automatically have an unfair advantage. Why do people that don't like to cook as a hobby love to watch Gordon Ramsay on TV? Why? It's because he's so passionate about his thing. He stays in his lane and he's a nerd. He has this nerdy enthusiasm about his stuff, and it's contagious. The same is true with Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. This guy is so magnetic and charismatic. I'm not a zoologist, but I'll eat some chips and dip and watch him be passionate about animals. And the same is true with you and your business, is how nerdy and enthusiastic are you? Because just increasing that will yield you a bigger result. It really, truly will. You can see it everywhere. Open your eyes. Everything is marketing. And the way that you show up, maybe you could up-level that with enthusiasm. And last but certainly not least, number 4 is understanding that math is the path. That's right, math is the path. Small business owners get paralyzed with anxiety when they talk about math sometimes with their companies. I've worked with a lot of y'all, right? So I pat you on the head like, I'm here with it. I get it. You don't need to become a mathematician. You don't need to understand analytical, metaphysical, advanced proton mathematic theory or something. No, but you have to understand the basic numbers of your business. Business is a series of systems and like numbers and people, like mixed together. That's like what it is. That's what every company is. And most smaller companies, if you're doing less than $1 million or $2 million, you have a tiny itty bitty company with massive upside and opportunity. If you can get this, if you're only doing a few $100,000 a year and you have a small thing, good for you, because it's better than working for someone else. But you're probably not understanding the KPIs, the metrics, and the numbers in your business. Whatever is measured will improve. You got to remember that. Whatever's measured will improve. If you say that you're going to lose 10 pounds, that's not as good as saying, I'm going to lose 10 pounds by next Friday, right? Even an example as simple as that. How many leads do you need to get so you can have X amount of appointments, so you can close a certain percentage so that you can hit a target revenue number? What's your average ticket price? What's your average man hour if you sell labor or have a service business? There's a ton of KPIs, key performance indicators, nerdy number things that you need to buckle down and figure out if you want to control your own growth. It's really difficult to succeed on accident. It's very unusual to get a big result sort of happenstancely. It doesn't happen like that. It happens through measurement, through consistency, through math. Math is the path, and that's it. I hope you got value out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. But before you go, can you leave me a comment? I'd love this to be a dialogue, not just a monologue. What are you thinking? Where are you at? How big's your company? What are you struggling with? What do you see happening in the economy with the recession and all the weird stuff that's going on? The government, they're up to some weird, funky stuff. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe, like it. It's a big deal for us. We appreciate it. Until next time, see you in the next video. Bye.